What is it?
Mommy's very angry.
What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now, for today's video, I wanted to talk about the Jurassic Park franchise and why I think now is the perfect time for them to dive into a more horror-oriented experience. Now, when people say something like that, there is a lot of presuppositions that pop off in their brains immediately, so I'm going to unpack that statement a little bit and explain what it is that I mean. But based off of everything I've been seeing right now, this video is going to describe where I personally think the future of the franchise should most definitely go. So, should Jurassic Park get an R-rated sequel? No. I'm just going to be honest with you, it ain't going to happen. Now, should Jurassic Park go back to having more brutal scenes filled with tension, suspense, thrilling action sequences, and maybe even scenes that become iconic and exceptionally scary? Well, yeah, definitely. In fact, I'd argue this is exactly what every single criticism of the Jurassic World brand has been for the last 10 years. With that being said, internet criticism can sometimes be pretty overblown. Jurassic World and even Fallen Kingdom actually do have some pretty good death scenes, and there are times where those movies do feel scary in comparison to something like Jurassic World Dominion. But now, Jurassic World Rebirth was technically a very successful movie, so there is a shift away from what they were doing in the Colin Trevorrow era. I still wish that the new film returned the brand to those high critic scores and had an audience reception that was higher than it wound up being, but I do think it's a good start. Now, if you take just a little bit of time to type into the search bar on YouTube Jurassic Park horror, or if you just take a look at all of the fan games, all of the dinosaur content in general that can be found out there right now, you are going to find that the most popular content is the kind that is focused on scary dinosaur stuff. And when it comes to Jurassic Park, the genre of horror or just suspenseful dinosaur attack sequences and games or little short films, that is like super popular. The decision to move the brand into the park builder friendly animal rights era with the Jurassic World trilogy, the Evolution games, the animated series on Netflix, I think that has totally evaporated. Yes, there's always going to be an audience for it, but I'm reminded of the Jurassic Park Jr. toy line from like 25 years ago, and sure, you could focus on that, or you could have something like this. So, this trajectory for a scarier focused Jurassic Park film doesn't just stop with the movies, in my personal opinion. If you take a look at the video game scene, people really want a survival horror Jurassic Park game. That's why Jurassic Park Survival is always being compared to Alien Isolation, and there's a lot of talk of people being excited about it, so why not just give it to them already? And I don't think you need to try and overthink this at all. Just listen to what I'm trying to say. Remember how popular Jurassic Park was as a brand when it focused on things like the T-Rex breaking out of the paddock and killing the lawyer on the toilet, or the Jeep chase, or the trailers going over the cliff in the Lost World. In fact, Lost World alone is something that I think the producers should just focus on, because that movie has been ridiculed and criticized for years, almost 30 years now, but it's a well-known cult classic that still, to this day, gets brought up and talked about like it's the best sequel to Jurassic Park. You can criticize it, you can rip it to shreds all you want, but the truth is, this is the direction I think they all need to go in, and that's something that I wish all of the major big franchises of blockbuster movies would take notice of. I recently went on a Terminator marathon with my wife, and we were both shocked at how much better Salvation was for us than T3. And I saw Salvation in the theater and was monumentally disappointed by it. I know people have never really liked Terminator 3 as much as 1 and 2, but wow, I was very surprised at how much we were both enjoying the fourth film. And look, while going through all of these big movie franchises the way we have been in marathons lately, it's just kind of crazy how much the Lost World Jurassic Park holds up compared to the other stuff. Contemporary sequels like Alien Resurrection or Terminator 3 don't hold a candle to it, and the only thing that I think was comparable would be something like Predator 2, which people also hated. Ironically, both that movie and The Lost World are well-known cult classics now, so that's something to really think about, producers. But when it comes to going for that scarier adventure and more thriller-oriented direction for a movie, if you say something like Jurassic World cannot do that, that is just very ludicrous to me. If Jurassic Park wants to make itself super popular with people again, they need to model the action movie aesthetic off of the films that were contemporaries of Jurassic Park and the Lost World, and don't necessarily copy and paste things from those movies. Check out stuff like The Ghost in the Darkness, Peter Jackson's King Kong, or even a movie from the 70s like Jaws. Planet of the Apes trilogy from the 2010s is also a good place to look for inspiration, especially Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That would be the perfect idea for a Jurassic World Rebirth sequel, especially with what Gareth Edwards has been talking about. And look, the thing is, when I was a kid, The Lost World was all the rage, and we watched compies attack people and rip a guy to shreds. All the kids would be pretending like they're on a dinosaur safari, holding big guns, walking into the park screaming, "Don't go into the long grass," and pretending like they're getting eaten by dinosaurs. Jurassic Park wasn't just this dinosaur cuddly property, it was cool. And it was that property that fueled the popularity of things like Turok and Dino Crisis, so Jurassic World can 100% do this with a sequel, and now I think is the perfect time. You really don't have to look very far. If you just go anywhere on the internet and look for anything Jurassic Park that's actually getting a lot of views right now and people are excited about, it is the stuff of park workers or scientists or just general people working at the park or on one of the islands getting attacked from like a first-person point of view by dinosaurs. And a lot of it is just stuff that is so basic and simple. I'm shocked that they haven't made a movie based around that kind of tone, because truthfully, it just makes so much sense for this franchise. You see, the producers need to just throw away the ideas of what they think it means to be a Jurassic movie. They're headed in the right direction with Rebirth. I can personally say I really do believe that. But if you want to go back to why people like myself were all crazy about Jurassic Park and the Lost World, it had a lot to do with the fact that these were big budgeted science fiction thrillers that focused on dinosaurs attacking people. It also helped that the humor wasn't so marvelly back in the 1990s. So, like I've said before, breaking away from all of that will do nothing but help the sequel to Rebirth if they really want to make some money. You don't need to be overly complicated. You don't need to be rated R. You don't need to be overly ambitious. You just need to deliver on one thing. Surviving in a situation with dinosaurs needs to be scary. It should be fun, and it shouldn't be corny or stupid to the point where people are complaining that you've made the worst Jurassic Park sequel like 3 or 4 times in a row. And you think that this would be incredibly obvious. Like, you think it's impossible to do when you've got actors like Chris Pratt or Sam Neill that would be jumping at the idea of playing a rugged, experienced guy that has survived a dinosaur encounter, and they're all in over their head with these animals attacking people. This just seems like such a clear-cut way to make something work that I'm a little surprised they haven't just done it yet. Even with Scarlett Johansson, I think you can make a movie focused on PTSD or just survival skills akin to Aliens and have it work if you know what you're doing. She's got this picture of her like in a Lost World Jurassic Park sleeping bag, and she's the new like lead they're focusing on. Why not go in this direction? The old era of legacy sequels and nostalgia-driven products is dying, but that doesn't mean you can't make a really good movie everyone wants to see right now. And it doesn't just stop with movies. It could be a video game, it could be a novel, it could be anything, honestly, or even a television series. Guys, the opportunity to make Jurassic Park cool and scary is where the brand needs to go, because that opportunity is so obvious anywhere you look on the internet. And even a video game modeled off of something like Ark Survival Evolved, only given more of a thriller Jurassic Park paint job, dude, you're telling me that wouldn't be super popular? That everybody would buy that and be online like, okay, I'm on Team Hunter, we're building our little fort. Oh, Johnny got killed by a raptor, run inside. But hey guys, these are all just my own thoughts and opinions on the subject matter. I actually think it's very easy to make a great Jurassic Park sequel that would focus on the Lost World aesthetic. Dude, I don't care about the 50% Rotten Tomatoes score. Dude, just make that movie. Anyways, guys, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be on the subject matter, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video, and as always, take it easy.